In our previous episode, our boy finally got his chance to fight the guide, and without wasting a second, the two clashed head-on. But as the battle unfolded, our boy began to shine, so much so that even the guide was visibly impressed. The guide even went on calling him an extraordinary life form. With that, he then extended an invitation wanting our boy to come with him. But Lu Sheng wasn't interested in talks, and all he wanted was a proper fight. By now, the guide finally understood our boy wanted pressure strong enough for him to break through, so he gave him exactly that. After getting a real taste of what a 10th level strike feels like, the scene shifted, and the fight resumed in full force. It was a clash between the 8th level and 10th level, yet our boy stood his ground. The two darted across the air like blurs, exchanging dozens of blows in an instant. Their speed and power were on another level, as none of the martial saints nearby could even dream of joining the fray. In fact, even from a safe distance, the shockwaves alone left them shaken. Then came another collision, a massive impact wave rippling outward as Lu Sheng laughed, feeling completely exhilarated. He remarked that he never enjoyed a fight like this before. Taking a deep breath, he let his energy spread outward and declared that it was time for him to witness the 5th season fist, an 11th level fist technique from ancient times. As soon as the words landed, his energy erupted, blazing like the sun. The surrounding air turned into rolling heat waves, and its sheer intensity caught Lan Chen's full attention. He noted this was the sign of someone who had reached the 5th realm of martial mastery. Feeling the scorching heat, he was genuinely surprised that Lu Sheng had reached such a level. Although he couldn't quite describe his exact feeling, but he was certain that coming to Earth had truly paid off. Without holding back any longer, the guide charged at him. Their powers kept colliding mid-air, back and forth. Even though Lu Sheng hadn't fully mastered the 11th level techniques, every strike he threw still carried the power to shake heaven and earth. Within moments, hundreds of miles of ocean turned into a blazing inferno. Meanwhile, even from the distant shore, Snowy could still feel the terrifying energy. Her worry deepened as she thought about her man's safety, but just as she made up her mind to head toward the battlefield, a hand landed firmly on her shoulder. She turned around and saw Lin Zhengyue, who immediately questioned if she had lost her mind. She remarked that kind of battlefield wasn't somewhere even martial saints dared to step into, questioning if she really planning to throw her life away. Snowy, despite the danger, still believed she should be by Lu Sheng's side. Even if it meant dying, she felt it was better to die with him than stand back and do nothing. But Lin Zhengyue just smiled and shook her head, leaving Snowy confused about what was so funny. Looking at her, Lin Zhengyue admitted she was starting to understand why Lu Sheng had fallen for someone like Snowy. She assured her there was no need to worry, adding that Lu Sheng would be fine. Clearly, Snowy had no idea what had taken place after she got sent here. In her mind, whoever came for Lu Sheng was planning to go after him. So when Lin Zhengyue explained that Lu Sheng and the guide had actually reached an agreement, and that this battle was part of helping him break through, she was stunned. Not interfering, she noted, was the best way Snowy could support him right now. Just then, the other martial saints landed nearby. Cumberland, with a complicated expression, acknowledged that Lu Sheng had earned the guide's recognition, believing that there was nothing more they could do now but wait. Looking out across the horizon, he declared that what they were waiting for was the birth of the Earth's true king. Snowy turned her gaze back to the ocean, where the fight still raged, and quietly whispered her man's name in her heart. As the scene shifts back to the fight, Lu Sheng's laughter echoed as he charged once more at Lan Chen. But this time, for some reason, the dude had his cloak back on and held a hand out to stop the fight. He urged Lu Sheng to look around, warning that if they kept fighting, the balance of energy in this region would completely collapse, adding that then the planet itself would start to suffer as well. He went on saying Earth simply wasn't built to endure the power of 10th level, and he asked if Lu Sheng really wanted to see his home world damaged. Lu Sheng nodded, taking a deep breath and admitting that it looked like breaking through here just wasn't an option anymore. Lan Chen removed his cloak again, and as to why he kept putting it on and taking it off, I have no idea either. Anyway, he went on praising our boy, saying someone like him was born for the stars and battlefields. He then asked if Lu Sheng had given any thought to when he might leave with him. Our boy, puzzled by his question, wondered why he was being rushed. Lan Chen, once again wrapping himself in the cloak, explained that he was just anxious on Lu Sheng's behalf. As someone with an extraordinary life form, Lu Sheng's path to breakthrough was far harder than most. He reasoned that on Earth, it would be difficult for him to even push past the 9th level, and going beyond that was even less likely. But, Lan Chen added, if Lu Sheng wanted to enjoy life a few more years before making the leap, that was fine too. He then tossed our boy a device that looked suspiciously like a pager we all had from the 90s. However, it was apparently a high-end communicator with a 200 light-year range. Lan Chen tells him that he could use it to contact him whenever he was ready, but warned him not to break it. The thing just materialized in Lu Sheng's hand, catching him off guard. Curious, he asked where it came from, wanting to know if he had some kind of storage device. Lan Chen, impressed by our boy's knowledge, said it was something like that, and then showed him a bracelet. He told Lu Sheng not to get any ideas, but added that there were several martial saints on Earth who already had similar things. Suddenly, a pillar of light enveloped Lan Chen's body as he began to ascend. He said how he's going to keep it brief, and reminded Lu Sheng to contact him within 10 years, preferably after he becomes the 9th level. As he ascended, he didn't actually keep it brief and just kept talking, adding that next time he wouldn't be able to give up his share of energy crystals again, reasoning that he had superiors to report to as well. Before disappearing, he threw in one last reminder, telling Lu Sheng not to forget he now owed him 3 favors. Our boy then wondered what did he meant by 3 favors. Then he glanced at the communicator in his hand, rolled his eyes, and figured this thing probably counted as a favor too, and he remarked the dude seriously counted every little thing. He then casually fiddled with the communicator in his hand, and after pressing a random button, suddenly a projection of Lan Chen popped up. He asked if our boy had already changed his mind and was ready to leave. He even offered to turn around and pick him up on the spot. Lu Sheng, however, clarified he was just testing the device. In response, Lan Chen warned him that once the energy ran out, he'd be stuck waiting the full 10 years. However, if he didn't care, then he suggested our boy to call him any time for a chat, then promptly ended the connection. Lu Sheng looked around. What he saw was a world completely thrown into chaos. The fabric of space and energy in this area was in shambles, and relying on the planet's natural recovery alone would take far too long. For the planet itself, this level of damage isn't the end of the world, but for the people living on it, it could be catastrophic. He then recalled the simulation from the dream realm about the apocalyptic crisis. He wondered if what awaited them was merely someone powerful that he couldn't yet defeat, or something worse, like a true cosmic-level being capable of shattering entire planets. He remarked how both could bring destruction, but the difference in power was worlds apart. Just then, he sensed several figures approaching. When he turned, Snowy rushed into his arms, clearly worried and asking if he was okay. He smiled, reassuring her, then turned to Lin Zhengyue with a nod of gratitude, saying he knew exactly what had happened and thanked her for stopping Snowy. She simply returned the gesture, saying she only did what she should. Lu Sheng then asked everyone to help clean up the battlefield and restore order as soon as possible. In response, all the martial saints stood straight and answered in unison. Cumberland, standing close, found himself tensing up just from being near Lu Sheng while noting how much stronger he had grown. Snowy asked if Lu Sheng would be coming back with her, but he explained he was only a step away from reaching the 9th level, adding that the battle with the guide had stirred new insights in him, and he needed to find a place to break through. Snowy nodded in understanding, telling him to go ahead, but to make sure he stayed safe. And finally, Lu Sheng turned to Lin Zhengyue, telling her there was still something he needed her to take care of.